So, I wanted to make this kind of like chill video about my experience with endometriosis so far. I'm having a lot of feelings today. I went to see a new doctor and he pissed me off. So I thought instead of sitting at the house angry, I could talk to someone about it. Maybe this will help someone. Maybe it won't. I don't know. So, excuse the way I look right now. This is what I look like most times. So, I found out I have endometriosis in April. I had gone through about a month and a half being off work because I was in such debilitating pain, and I knew that something else was going on. I also have a autoimmune disease of the bladder called Interstitial Cystitis, or IC, as I'll probably call it from this point on, where my cells attack my bladder lining. That causes a lot of pain if I get in really high stress situations, or if I eat badly, so I can't eat like any preservatives, artificial colors, flavors. There are exceptions, and people are different. Some people can't eat any fruit. I can eat red apples and it not bother me. Pears are fine. Blueberries are fine. But everything else is really dangerous and will set me into an IC flare. So I thought at first that this pain in March of this year was pain from my bladder. And usually if it's a really bad one, it'll last for like 5 days, give or take, and then I'm okay. But this was going on for like 3 weeks, and then it was a month, and then it was, sorry, I'm outside, my nose is itching. Then it was, a month and a half, and I was like looking things up online like you're not supposed to do. Something on my phone. And I realized that I have a lot of the same symptoms of IC symptoms, and endometriosis symptoms are very similar. And also, they call them like the evil stepsister diseases or something, because it's very likely that if you have IC, if you're a woman, to have endometriosis as well. For some reason, they just join paths a lot. So in April, I found probably at the end of March, I found a new OBGYN, because my previous OBGYN refused to believe that I had anything like that going on. And he said, I absolutely think that you do. We'll set up a surgery, because the only way to determine if you have endometriosis is to have a laparoscopic surgery. So they go in with a camera through your belly button, and then they cut you in a few other places, and they go through your abdomen and see if you have any endometrial tissue. Endometriosis is when your uterine tissue grows outside of your uterus in your abdomen, on other organs, on your abdomen walls, on your backside, any of that, that's where it grows. So when they do this surgery, that's what they look for. My doctor said I didn't have a lot of tissue when I did the surgery, and they put you out. I mean, it's a real surgery. I have 4 scars, 3 across my belly, around my belly button, and then 1 in my belly button that took longer to heal. That's where they put the camera. And I had a lot of tissue, or a little bit of tissue, but it was all different places. It was all scattered throughout. I didn't have like a lot. It wasn't like fusing my organs together or anything like that. But my doctor had said that he had women who come in and they want their tubes tied. He goes to tie them, and he finds a massive amount of endometrial tissue in there. It's never bothered them a day. He also finds people who have a tissue, 1 tissue please, in their abdomen, and it's causing them extreme pain. So they don't know why. They think it might be an autoimmune disease. Sometimes it grows into your muscle tissue, and that can be an issue. Anyway, so I had that surgery, and I was okay. It took me a while to heal, and I got a virus on top of it. So I spent like probably 2.5 months out of work. And they've been really good about it. And like, I was still recovering. It was really hard for me because I'm on my feet all day at work, lifting heavy stuff. So, it was rough for me to come back after, having my abdomen muscles cut, to then go back and have so much physical activity. So about a month, you can see my nose ring hanging out there. Sorry. Is that better? So about a month and a half goes by, and maybe 2 months, and I'm at work and I start bleeding like I'm having a period. And I'm like, well, there's no way that I'm having a period already. It would be like a week and a half too early. So, and I keep track of those things. So, then I was worried, well, maybe my estrogen levels are messed up, because after surgery, they can't get every single cell in your abdomen of endometrial tissue. It's impossible. You can't see a single cell, right? So they wanted me to take a shot every month, and that would stop my estrogen production, and then I would go through menopause for about 6 months, but that would kill off my any extra tissue that they missed or anything like that. Well, I couldn't do that because of insurance. So then I thought, well, maybe it's that. And then I thought, well, maybe it's my bladder. Maybe all that stress, my bladder, of surgery, my bladder is, my bladder isn't having a good time. So I was going to be okay, or I thought I was going to be okay, and I, whatever, but I kept bleeding, and I was bleeding a lot. And eventually I ended up in the ER because I felt like I was getting anemic. And they did an external ultrasound, an internal ultrasound. They did blood work, all that stuff. And the nurse goes, yeah, I really think it's your endometriosis. And I was like, excuse me? No. You don't understand. I just had surgery a month and a half ago. And they were like, everyone's different. And I was like, no. Like, I already did that. It can't grow back that fast. And they were like, sometimes. So I was pretty infuriated because thanks to insurance, I couldn't do the thing that could have helped me. Maybe. Some people are very against it. It's called Lupron Depot. Some people call it toxic. I don't know. But that was what my doctor had recommended, and then I couldn't do it. So I go back to see my OBGYN, and he was like, yeah, I've only seen this 2 other times where that surgery didn't work in my practice, and be in such debilitating pain again, because it feels like I have a constant period cramp. So most people can't handle that just as a, cramp, release, but mine is constantly like this. I also have chronic pelvic pain that I found out before endometriosis, so I've been going to see a pelvic floor physical therapist, and when I'm in really debilitating pain, I'm not really doing much physical therapy. It's like therapeutic massage and ultrasound waves and stuff like that. But so that's just aggravating everything. And I'm experiencing a constant period cramp. And then sometimes I get this shooting pain down in my right, where your leg meets your pelvis. And it feels like someone is going in and tearing something off of me, like a piece of paper, which is not pleasant, if you can imagine. And then other times, right down the center, across my belly button, down toward my pelvis, it feels like I've pulled a muscle. So I was explaining all this to my doctor, and he was like, yeah, so our options are 2 things. Either we try the surgery again, or we have to start talking hysterectomy. Now, I have never necessarily wanted children of my own. I have 2 stepkids. I have nieces, a niece. So I'm fine. I've been fine with not having kids. But when you start talking about hysterectomies, you think, well, what if future me hates me if I have a hysterectomy? What if suddenly I have some life and death or near-death experience, or, something changes drastically and suddenly I want kids? I get sick and someone has to take care of me, and Eric's older than me, so I hope that wasn't thunder. So, there's been a lot of mental challenge as far as, well, first of all, being in chronic pain constantly, that puts a damper on your mental health. Copper just keeps walking through. Todd's over here. And then having to think about huge future changes, it just puts huge stresses on you, which kicks up my IC, so that's fun. And then he said, well, before we make any decisions, let's see a GI doctor to make sure nothing's going on there and that would cause pain or whatever. And B, let's see a pelvic floor surgeon to get a second pair of eyes on it, make sure we're not missing anything, which I thought was really respectable of him. Most doctors have an ego, and my doctor does not. He just wants me to feel better, and I really feel like that. See a pelvic floor surgeon and see what he can do. I know they have Botox injections that they can do in your pelvis, kind of like they do for headaches now, to paralyze your pelvic floor muscles. They have a procedure where they sever the nerves to your uterus, which makes me very nervous. But there's always a chance that it's going to grow back. Endometriosis can't be cured. Neither can IC. So that's where we are right now. Today I saw the GI doctor. He pissed me off. He wanted to tell me that he thinks, after talking about everything, he thinks that my pain is caused from either my IC or my endometriosis. I'm banking on my endometriosis because my IC, I know what that feels like. I've been doing it for a long time. Then he goes, well, I think I'm going to try you on this medicine that if you're not TMI, and I'm sorry, but if you're not constipated, it'll give you diarrhea. So you'll know that that's not helping. And then I want you to go on the FODMAP diet for 3 months and then come back. Okay, sorry, my camera died. So first of all, I don't want to be in pain for 3 more months at all. I don't want to do it. Also, if you determine I have IBS, you can't fix that. So why would I'm going to be more mad if I wait 3 months and then you're just like, it wasn't that, or it was that, but we still don't know if that's the pain that you're in, and it can't be cured either. Taking your uterus out for endometriosis doesn't cure it, but there's 2 ways to do it. Either you take your uterus out, and there's like a 50-50 chance that you won't be in pain anymore. Like I said, your estrogen helps that tissue grow, so if they don't get all that tissue out, and you still have your ovaries giving you estrogen, there's 50-50 chance that you could still be in pain. If you take your ovaries out, there's like a 10% chance that you're still in pain. If you get your ovaries taken out along with your uterus, you have to go on hormone replacements and go through menopause permanently, which that's another big decision that I'm going to have to make. But at least I know that if I go that way, if I'm still in pain, it narrows down the reasons. Unfortunately, everything that I have is in the same area of my body, and they all have very similar symptoms, and there's no guarantee for any of it, but to wait 3 more months for you to tell me that I have another incurable disease, and you still don't know where the pain's coming from, it's beyond me. Also, this FODMAP diet, like I said, I'm already on a diet for my IC where I can't have the preservatives and all that, any fruit. The FODMAP diet is like no bread, no pasta, no milk, no eggs, no this, no that, and you're like, what do I eat? And I understand if you have IBS, that's your option, but I don't think I do. I don't have the symptoms of IBS. They're just pulling at straws, trying to have another opinion because they don't want to waste my time when I go in, but I'd rather have my time wasted. So, anyway, that's where I am right now, waiting on the pelvic floor surgeon to call me. I'm very frustrated. I'm very mentally at my wit's end. I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to make my future self mad at me, but my doctor said, and I agree, I'd probably give both my legs right now to be out of pain. And I'm trying not to make decisions based on that, but that is what's driving my decision, and I don't know. We'll see. I see him again in 4 weeks, and that's when we talk about it. 3 weeks. 4 weeks. Middle of August. So, we'll see. I don't know. But that's what I'm going through right now, and I'm stressed out, and I'm upset, and I don't want to have to see 7 other doctors for them to give me 7 other diagnoses? I don't know. I don't want to do all that, and then my OBGYN doctor tell me, well, we're not going to do the surgery because all these other people think all these other things, even though we originally thought this was the way to go in the first place. And then I'm in pain just for however long. So, anyway, I just wanted to make a video about what I'm dealing with right now, and hopefully no one else has to do this, but I know endometriosis is such a hard road for everybody, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's too painful for anybody to think that it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, let me know what you think about this. I'll make an update video when I have more information. Wish me luck. Bye.